had something very weird happen to me.
Oh, yeah?
This is really weird. If this isn't proof that your cell phones are always listening to you, I don't know what is.
The walls have ears.
Okay, so let me give you some context to it.
Okay.
So, you know how, like, in the past, like, Ari Shafir talked about how with YouTube, he searched puppies, and then that's all he got was puppies, whatever.
More videos of
Puppies, everything but puppies. And then you've heard, and maybe it's happened to you, it's happened to me, where, like, you'll be talking to somebody about, like, an object or a trip or something, and then you'll just get ads for it, right?
Yeah.
It's freaky shit. Well, I was talking to my mom about, hey, United States looks like it's the Titanic fucking sinking. I'm like, I heard Japan's nice this time of year. Just talking about it, because, I read up on some stuff and watched video, whatever.
I'd like to relax under a cherry blossom.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
So then all of a sudden, and I've never searched this up on YouTube ever, and it's never came up. And I get into YouTube short wormholes, like, all the time. I
Right.
send you a lot
Oh, yeah.
as well. I get lost in there.
I do too.
All of a sudden, I'm getting this fucking dude from Japan that's interviewing foreigners that have recently been in the country and just talking to them about, like, how do you like it here? What's the biggest culture shocks? And all this other shit. I'm like, what in the fuck is going on here? Just all of a sudden.
It knows.
Just all of a sudden. It wasn't just like one. It was like fucking video after video. I'm like, motherfucker.
Without having entered anything
No,
into it.
nothing. Nothing at all.
So I mean, and I've heard a lot of stuff like that where people could be talking about even just a problem that they're having, like a minor inconvenience, and then they're presented with a product that is very specific to that minor inconvenience, and they're just like, what the hell is this all of a sudden? Like, why am I... Like, it knows. Like, you got little speakers.
Right.
You know what I mean? So,
Well,
who's to say it's not always listening?
Well, it's because...
Or Alexa or your Google Home or whatever it is.
Well, I think part of the phone is like the Patriot Act from 9/11 that gives the government free access because of terrorism. That we need to eavesdrop everybody.
Just in case.
Just in case. But I think also with Alexa, I think it was Alexa, that there's been times where they'll be like talking to somebody about, even if it's a joke, that they're gonna. My boss sucks. I wish I could fucking shoot him or something or whatever. And dude, cops will just come to their fucking door.
I did hear a story about that. I remember it was
Similar
like
stuff.
Kansas City
yeah.
or like it was somewhere in like Oklahoma or something like that. It was very breadbasket of the U.S. and somebody was like messing around and they're like, man, shut up. Like, I'll kill you. Shut up or whatever.
Yeah.
Or I'm gonna stay. And then Alexa called 911 unbeknownst to them, and they got swatted from their own helpful device.
That's why if you're going to talk anything controversial, put your phones in the fucking freezer. Okay? That's old school Italian.
Like that movie Cell. Remember that with John Cusack and Samuel L. Jackson, where there's a pulse that goes through everyone's phone, and they become zombie-like. It's a Stephen King adaptation into a movie. The ending was, I mean, I like it because it's a sad ending, a bad ending for a lot of people, but I enjoy it. But yeah, they put their phones in the freezer.
That's right.
And because to avoid the signal.
Yeah.
Lest you turn into a phoner.
So, is there anything like that's, anything weird or anything that's been popping up on your tubes lately that's catching your eye or anything like that?
No,
or anything that...
There's one page, and I follow them on Instagram called Lights Are Off.
Sounds familiar.
And it is a lot of 3D computer graphic, just scary things. Like, I know we went over phobias, and one of the big ones of mine was megalophobia, the fear of just giant things.
Or a big marshmallow man.
Or exactly. Going into my dreams.
Or the green monster.
Going back to that, yeah.
Or
and
the
they're big and they're coming in to get you and stuff like that. There are videos like that. It's like just like a creepy interdimensional monster comes out of a black hole and then like summons a meteor to strike down. And it's all like from your point of view.
And you just binge watch that shit?
Yeah. It's creepy.
We just did a fucking episode where you were fucking pissing your pants, and now you're fucking binge watching it?
Face your fears. It's the only way to overcome them. Is just
Jesus.
become so enveloped in it and expose yourself so much to the said danger that the preparedness for the... I mean, there's a lot of jump scares in those videos too. You know, and some are just bizarre, like with a bunch
Now,
of hands coming out of the ceiling.
Are these shorts or like full-blown episodes?
They're shorts.
Sort of thing? Okay.
They're all shorts.
Okay.
Like there are some where it's like Mickey Mouse. Mickey Mouse on a deserted, dark road in the middle of the night, and there's one street light, and it's flickering, and he's under the light, and he's just sitting there. And there's like happy old-timey music playing, you know, like 50s type shit going on. And then all of a sudden it like turns and looks right at the camera and like notices you, and it's just like, and like it gives you a crazy noise and it charges at the camera. It just scared the shit out of you. But I don't know. It's because
it's different and creative.
Right, it is, and they do stuff with SpongeBob characters too. They did something with like an evil minion from Despicable Me. Like there's stuff like that.
It's a dark creative side to it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that. And then there was one based on that. The algorithm spat out something called Between Mirrors, and it was a similar type of CGI video where it's your point of view. You're sitting in a car on the Golden Gate Bridge, and then all of a sudden, like cars are smashing and stuff, and your point of view is looking around, and then when it pans to the left, it's Godzilla coming out of the water and smash.
I was literally about to no, but I was about to
Okay.
just say like, oh, then Godzilla.
Yeah, it was Godzilla, and I was just like, that's pretty interesting. Like that's cool. So it's spitting out. It's like how Amazon was when it first came out. When you go to buy something, like they were one of the first companies to do that sort of thing. Like if you enjoy this product, you may also enjoy.
Yeah.
You know. So
yeah.
I feel like that's the premise of it. But
I
this
like YouTube Shorts. I really do. You know, and it is one of like also another way to like find people like, for instance,
like us.
This guy who I've been fucking binge watching, Caleb Hammer, I think that's his name. I hope so. I hope so.
Sounds hot.
I hope so. He's a young kid. He just graduated from University of Michigan. He's like a big like financial guy.
Okay.
But again, he's young, maybe like a little bit younger than us. And he literally just does a podcast, and he just breaks down people's finances and tells them like how they're fucking up. So, for instance,
That's kind of
like,
cool.
And it's just
right?
everyday,
Goes over a budget with them.
just everyday people. It's everyday people. One chick was just like, because he's going over, you know, their bank accounts, whatever. He's got other statements. He doesn't show it, but
right. But you can see where they've
he's
spent their money and how they've spent it.
Over $700 car note. Like he's like, what kind of car did you get? And you know, and it's always a mix of people, but there's one girl in particular. You know, she had like that fry, like,
Yeah.
and you know, she's like, I had to get a SUV because I lived up north and it was snowing, so I had to get an SUV. And he has like a very intellectual meltdown, like. He doesn't have the meltdowns I do, where I'm fucking like, you know, just all over the place.
Is he just like defeated? Just
a little bit,
here's the
but
deal.
he's just disgusted, and then he gets like in a high pitched voice and starts cursing a little bit because he's just like.
So then he does kind of bring out the will in himself.
A little bit, but more fine tuned. But he's just like, you know, why do you have to get an SUV? Because it's snowing. He goes, I lived in Detroit and Michigan, and I had a sedan. You just get snow tires. You don't need an SUV. He goes, what is wrong with you? She's like, well, I was scared, and like I never drove in snow before. And he goes, you get snow tires. You fucking learn. Oh, I'm telling you, it's fucking beautiful. And
check that
I mean,
out.
dude, you hear people like blowing money on fucking fast food. One guy had
Coffee.
to get fucking get a brand new fucking Tesla Model 3. You know, and he's got like a 30% interest rate on the car thing. He's like, why do you need it? You're like, you don't have any money.
Well, there are a lot of people that just want the latest and greatest thing. Like everything needs to be brand name.
Regardless of their
Everything needs to be
income,
top of the
right.
line. Everything needs to be this, so I can, show everybody that look at what I've done.
He made one guy walk out because he was this one guy thought he was like smarter than everybody else. He had this fucking degree in like financial literature or whatever the fuck. I don't even
So
know.
he's speaking with someone else that has the
Right,
same thing.
right. Well, he's just like
Not very confident.
he was just like I don't know. He was having like some money issues, so Caleb was like, maybe you should get a job, like, and he's like, oh, well, no one's hiring, and he goes, retail is always hiring,
Right,
and
something.
he's just like, well, I don't know if that would work for me. Like, I don't know how long that would last.
That's
and he,
beneath me.
And he goes, what do you mean? He goes, well. And this is legit. He's just like, well, I have a degree in so and so, and I like to, I don't like to keep my mouth shut. And if I see something that can be fixed or changed, I'm gonna address it. And he goes, dude, no one gives a fuck about your degree, literally. And the guy almost walked out, like, because he was so insulted.
mad,
He's
yeah.
like, nobody gives a fuck about your degree. Dude, this guy, I'm telling you. It's awesome. And these are just his shorts. I mean, he does full-blown podcasts
Yeah.
just from his shorts. Beautiful.
Nice.
Beautiful work. I mean, but it's something unique. I've never seen that. It's just, like I said, he's just grabbing everyday people, which, listen, these people have no shame if they're willing to talk about their finances, and how fucking...
Or they really want the help.
Or how dumb they are. Well, I mean,
if you're going to expose yourself like that,
Yeah.
hopefully you really are trying to get something out of it.
yeah,
Hopefully.
yes. I mean, he
Because
has...
that's not exactly like AA where, you're anonymous, you're going on the internet, like,
Yeah.
you're putting yourself out there. So, or it is that they just have no shame. Because there's a lot of that going around, too.
That too.
That, too.
But yeah, he's... I like it. It's something different, too, and it's unique.
Yeah.
So I like it.
Well, this word I had probably heard only a handful of times in my life until, I don't know, the last 3 years, for me anyway, is algorithm. 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 Algorithm.
Sounds like a math class.
It's pretty close to that, because all that's, it comes from the 19th century Arabic origins, along with algebra, for instance. So, the definition of it is a process or set of rules to be followed in calculations or in problem-solving operations, especially by a computer. So in simpler terms, they act as an exact list of instructions that conduct specified actions step by step in either hardware or software-based routines being widely used in all areas of IT. So hence the puppies thing.
Right.
If I search this, I'm going to get more of this. Because the parameters have been that we're the consumers, we're the customers, because they're selling advertising space. They're having people buy advertising space in order to promote their things in between. So if that links up with stuff that you're searching for,
Right.
it's able to target, the audience for, marketing products at the same time,
Yeah.
as well as the content. Like going back to, I know I mentioned it on ChatGPT where I had somebody trying to show me something on Instagram, and when they go to the search icon and they go to type it in at the top, there's a whole slew of images underneath which are in tune with your algorithm already. So yeah, I'm searching for something specific in the bar, but it's giving me stuff that I may just want to be browsing that I'm not following yet, because this is along the lines of pages I'm already following, pages I've visited, pages I've liked,
But
pictures
isn't it just
I've
like
saved.
Google? Like when you search in something, how like it'll drop below, like,
Yeah, there's an algorithm for
like
that. How
whatever.
many times was this searched?
frequently asked questions sort of
Exactly.
thing. Yeah.
So this is the majority of it. So this is what we're going to be putting out first. But they'll go ahead and do that to go to search something, and I see all those photos drop down, and it's a bunch of chicks in bikinis or half naked and everything like that. I'm like, what's going on? They're like, I don't know how that got there. We all know how that got there.
Right.
Just
Yeah.
go look at porn. Why are you doing that on Instagram?
Dude, I will tell you, I had a conversation with a chick a coworker, because it's like, look, I'm like, I'm like in the middle. Like, I understand OnlyFans, like I get it,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't hate women, that do that. Like, I get it. Get your fucking money.
Right.
That's why I say.
Hell yeah.
But I for the life of me cannot understand why a dude, because that's who mostly are fucking getting it. I mean, there's some chicks too, but mostly dudes are fucking buying this shit.
Mhm.
Like, and I'm just like, why when you can get it for fucking free? There's multiple websites. I can't wrap my mind around it. Or if you're gonna spend money, at least get the physical sex then. I know it's illegal, and frowned upon, but still.
Unless you film it, right?
But you could get it.
Yeah.
It's not whatever. But and she did this. And she told me, she goes, it's really, when you think about it, in a weird way they feel like it's a solo one-on-one because it's
was
more
gonna say,
personalized.
right.
So they feel like they're really, because that person's really communicating with you. So if you're a paid subscriber, like really talking to you or sending you like, exclusive shit. So it makes you feel special, even though you're paying,
These
X
poor
amount.
bastards, man. Because
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, if I'm looking at a porno, I just imagine I'm the dude.
That's why they have POV section. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, there's
Point of
that
view.
too, but they don't always
And
hit
I
all the
imagine
positions
that, yes, I
that
have
I'm
that
wanting
big
to
black
be.
cock. That's what I imagine. Like, yes, that big black cock, that is what I have. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But, like, look, we may bitch and complain about the algorithm, but I feel two different ways on it. One, I kind of I like that we have that's in place, because it feels like it's less being like manipulated by somebody or something. Because
Does it? I feel like
well-
it is kind of manipulating it
well,
to flooding your
from-
shit with more, like
does
does that encapsulate me just because I looked at puppies for a whole day? Like, I just must be.
But it changes. It's not like,
Can I get kitties?
Well,
Okay.
right, but what I'm saying is, though, it doesn't, like, it always changes. Every day it changes, or however, like, it's not a set in stone, here's the rules, whatever, and then
Right.
that's it. On the flip side to that, though, which I was talking to you before we were recording, was, it makes it difficult and frustrating because, look, anyone could be a content creator, right? I mean, everyone has access to YouTube, to Rumble, anything. There's different platforms now, and anybody can do it, whether it's a camera, on their cell phone, whatever the fuck, right?
Right.
And there's a multitude of different things you can do, right? Like we chose podcasting, whatever.
Right.
And unless if you're already established person, whether a celebrity, radio guy, whatever, it's really hard nowadays to start from the bottom and grow legit.
Right.
And this is for really anybody who is still new to doing YouTube or just content in general.
Or if you feel like you're hitting a wall.
Or hitting a wall. Or if you're thinking about doing it, I'm gonna tell you right now. And listen, I know that our counts, or a lot of people would just like laugh at us because it's nothing. I'm so proud of it because everything that we have is legit.
Yeah.
And I say that because honestly, the only way that you see these people out of nowhere blow up, it's because they paid for subscribers. They paid for, and that's the truth.
I had a feeling.
And that's the truth, and that's okay. Because it is what it is,
Yeah.
sort of thing. And it's just like, listen, you can get your way to that success or whatever, but I mean, you're kind of like a fraud, you're a phony a little bit.
Right, it's like taking steroids in baseball.
Look at it with Joe Rogan. It took him 10 years.
Just have your subscriber number with an asterisk next to everybody that bought them.
But look at Joe Rogan, though. It took him 10 years, really, till he became an established something,
Right.
And and then you see others in 1 year they fucking blow up. In 6 months they blow up, whatever. And I always had to like question, like, okay, how does because you were even telling me you saw someone that had over 20K subs,
I was
but
about to bring
had,
them up.
had less viewers than like we do.
Small social media presence, like our Instagram page, for instance, has a little over 500 followers now. Thank you all very much. Love you. We have a bigger social media presence than them, but I liked their videos. I thought their vibe was similar to ours, like the way the conversations were bouncing off of each other. The stories that they had to tell were wild, and I was like, I'm going to go subscribe to them. I like it.
Yeah.
And then I go on there, and they have over 25,000 subscribers. And their view count is abysmal. And I'm like, this doesn't add up. No one's watching it, yet everyone's subscribing to it. It makes no sense to me.
Yeah. Well, there's these sites that you can go to, because I've looked into it.
Okay.
Because I'm curious. I'm very curious. And,
That's why I call them whiskers.
They have different amounts of money that you put in. You get different amount of subscribers that they will just go automatically and just sub. Have you ever had...
Can you be a sub that gets paid to sub to someone?
No.
Damn it.
Have you ever looked into your subscriptions and saw a channel or person that you are like, I don't remember subscribing to this person, like, ever at all? Because I've had that a couple times myself.
So is it just like a lottery? It picks random accounts and automatically uploads a subscription from them without notifying you?
Yep.
That's real nice. See, that's why we got to read the fine print. We got to read the agreement. Otherwise, you end up like Kyle on the Human Centipede episode of South Park. You got to read that before you click agree.
And now some people will argue, well, listen, it's part of investing in yourself, investing in your company. I tell you, here's what I'll fucking tell you, dude. I'll tell you some real shit right here. Because there's some shit that I don't even fucking understand. Okay, first of all, these fucking dollar store hauls or whatever the fuck, these fucking bitches that just sit in their car and show the camera like shit that they bought at dollar store. Bro, they're getting fucking over 6-figure views.
Who's watching this? Who's watching this?
Like, what the fuck's going on here, dude? I mean, seriously. I mean, I'm blown away, but listen.
This is me wearing this dress. This is me wearing that dress.
And I just want to make.
Although if they're hot, I kind of understand why there's that many views.
The bikini trial.
Yeah, that's a lot. Yeah, I get that.
I'm really just hoping for that slip, that whoops slip.
Only on live, but there's a little bit of a delay there.
But listen, I don't want to sound like we are not ungrateful. We are we are very appreciative.
Like you said, we're proud of
just what we have, and that's kind of why we still do what we do, because at least I feel like it's just an obligation for our, not just for our day one subscribers, for even like new ones or whatever. They have interest in us, and listen, whatever, we may not have fucking. The Island Boy numbers or the fucking Paul Brother numbers, whatever. That's all fine and dandy, but I'd rather have, listen.
I finally forgot about the Island Boys.
Oh,
damn it, Will.
Oh, yeah.
Now I'm going to be doing this all night in my head. That's what I'm going to be in my head.
Maybe that's what we need to do.
I'm just Island Boy.
There you go. Sound a little bit better. But it's a dirty game. It really is. But, I mean, that's the truth.
Yeah.
That's true. I'm sure, YouTube might strike us. I don't know.
Really?
They may not like that.
I mean, look, we're saying we know how the sauce is made, yet we would like to make our own. I'd say that's pretty fair. I mean, that's nothing. I mean, if that's the rules of the game, we're saying that we understand it. Whether we agree with it or not is immaterial, and we're doing our own thing anyway.
But you know what makes us a little bit different, though? We're more in tune with our followers, our subscribers.
Yeah.
We know a lot of them personally, and not only that, I mean, we interact with them.
Yeah. On a consistent basis.
I mean, what, you think fucking Logan Paul with his fucking prime drinks is fucking, No, he's got fucking 50 handlers that are dealing with that shit. He doesn't know who the fuck's following him or whatever the fuck. He's just, whatever. That's what it is.
And that is something that people will do where it's like, what can we make to go viral? What can we make to go viral? And I know we've talked about him before. I know he can be annoying, but Gary Vee's talked about that. Everybody asking, well, how does this go viral? And he put it plain and simple. He's like, think of the word.
Luck of the draw.
Exactly.
It's
viral.
It's like lottery.
Virality is random. Like you can't,
lottery.
And that's everyone's trying to create. And I'm using that. Obviously, it's not everyone. Everyone's trying to create that one piece of content, that one viral piece of content to just break the mold, and then everything's gonna. No, you need to keep producing.
Yeah.
Like, do you not understand that part of the game, too? In the same effect, if you end up getting that lucky to where something goes viral, and then there's a lot more eyeballs on you, that's also a lot more pressure. So you need to be ready to kind of handle that and step up to it and maintain. And in the same breath, he was also saying along the lines of, and this is not only how we like to feel about it, but for anybody out there that's also a small content creator, make content for yourself.
Yeah.
Make content
That's
for
what we do.
you because, and not to say that we wouldn't want it to be entertaining for you because that's also the point.
No, we've asked. We've reached
sure,
out
yeah.
and done like, hey,
Yeah.
take some votes or suggestions. We always take suggestions, or we're not like, oh fuck, everybody.
No. But he was saying, get out of the algorithm. If you're too worried about what the artificial brain is going to pick up or put down or anything like that, because that'll start to make you crazy. When you try to study this thing, and then they change it, and then you're doing all of the things that the so-called
you're
experts...
playing catch-up.
Right.
You're playing catch-up.
Yeah, but you're still doing the things that these so-called experts say are all the right things to do, and it's not... So then you if that ever happens to you and you feel discouraged, like that one podcast that had reached out to me, and we were just talking about, starting up, and they're all like how you said, all these other people, they're just famous already, and they just make a podcast like, this game's not fair kind of thing. And I'm like, dude, just keep going, like, you're fine. I'm like, man, you were really unpacking our feelings about this real quick. So if you feel that way and you feel discouraged, don't.
Just do it for you.
Just do it.
Just do it for you,
Why
man.
not?
And here's the thing. Here's a couple things, okay? First of all, the system, the algorithm cannot handle us going viral. They just can't. Because here's why. We talk fucking real truth. How many bombs have I fucking dropped? How many bombs? Seriously.
You need to stop predicting the future because it pisses me off.
I'm telling you.
Then
okay?
it happens. You say
I'm
it,
just saying.
a couple weeks go by or a month goes by, and then the other shoe falls. And I'm like,
I'm just saying. Look, I read the comments, and sometimes, there's people who are like, oh, Will, you're crazy. And, they lean towards you. They're like, oh, no, Tyler, I gotta agree with Tyler. Here's the thing, people.
He always ends up being right.
I'm fucking right. I'll have a couple details wrong, but it's just what it is. We're just dropping bombs, raising awareness, just letting people know. I just want my followers to know. I want new followers to know. I just want people to fucking know. Wake up, open their eyes, have an open mind. Maybe us saying some shit, might make you think differently. And not only that, but if you guys haven't watched, me getting maced, that's pretty fun.
Oh, that was great.
We love the food challenges. It's just beautiful. But,
And there's things in the works for the future too that
always is.
that are definitely going to be
always is.
quite
But
unpleasant
another
for you.
Another good thing that I do like, especially with the shorts, is the motivational quotes. The whether it's from a celebrity or whoever
Or a movie
or
clip
from
or
a
something.
movie,
Yeah.
right? But motivational talk, man, is just sometimes you need that.
You do.
You just need that. Whether it's 150, whatever. Sometimes you just need that,
50? Once you get to 50, you might need to pull up them bootstraps a little on your own. Because now we're just
No, that's just me
sitting
getting
there.
started, dude. That's just me fucking getting started.
I like to listen to Joey Diaz motivations. Those are the best.
Yeah.
Those are the best. It's like Cuban you
Right.
yelling at me.
Yeah.
Well, it's fucking Monday. What are you going to do about it, bitch?
Right.
Yeah, take a shit and get to fucking work. What are you
Right.
doing? You're sitting there. I'm like, hell yeah, Joe. Let's go. go. Let's get to
Dude,
work.
I mean, oh my god, dude, that just reminded me. It was like the other night when we were fucking talking about like some of our old episodes and whatever. And I remember the one that we were reading the fucking the books, the childhood books. And when you were reading, you were like, listen, for people who don't know Tyler, he likes to really be involved in what he's doing, like to a T.
I took myself way too seriously
he
for
tries to be
something that
so
really,
serious.
that
And
really is
he's
nothing.
trying to be in the character, pronounce words, have a good posture,
all
this
of which
shit.
is not
Which,
my
by the
wheelhouse.
which he was
at
also
all.
like 3 Millers deep, but listen,
That didn't help.
that's okay. And right in the middle of his story, he just goes, "Nah, we're gonna have to cut it." And we're just like, what's the problem? Just,
I was making content for myself, and I didn't like the delivery.
I'm just not feeling it. I'm just
Yeah.
not feeling it. And I'm just like, dude, this fucking guy. And we're in like 30 minutes deep.
If there
It's just
was,
like, bro,
if there
come
was
on.
a nice breeze going through this apartment, it would have gone stale in no time. Just
Because we were all having a good time. You just go, nah, fuck it. We're done.
he is the wind in my sails.
We're done. But I mean, it's part of growth. I mean, how many
Yeah.
times did you thought an episode suck and then you watch it and you go, okay.
That wasn't as bad as I thought it was.
No, okay, like for instance, recently, this is a little bit behind the scenes right here. Okay, when we did the Nashville shooting, you automatically were like, listen, yeah, we might need to not post that, and I'm like, why?
I just said I wanted to watch it back.
Well, hold on. First of all, right after the show, you gave me some shit about my pregnant pauses, and what do you mean? He goes, yeah, it felt like
It felt like an eternity between pauses, and then I watch it back. It's like maybe 3 seconds.
You know why
at
I felt
most.
like that? You want to know why I felt like that? Because I was dropping so much raw shit right there that you could not handle
No,
what I was cooking.
I couldn't.
Couldn't handle it. Couldn't handle what I was cooking.
But the algorithm can.
No, it can't. It can't either.
No.
But see, I just wanted to be clear, and on the shit that I was saying. I didn't want to have listen. How many rants have I been on where I'm just fucking all over the place? I'm like fucking a cracked out Alex Jones. Like I'm just all over the place, and it's just like you don't know where the fuck I'm going. And I just had to. It was so delicate that I just wanted to make sure I was saying the right things and that nothing that I was saying was being out of context. You know what I mean?
Okay, that's fair.
That's all. But
Yeah,
I mean,
fair.
you're just you. You're a little worried.
Yeah, I do. I am a big worrywart, and thankfully my algorithm doesn't give me things to be anxious about. Like if we were to go ahead and go to the search.
Do you have any how-to stuff on there? Like, have you ever looked up how-to stuff or no?
No.
Not even cooking or something for recipes?
I do a grilling page just because I like looking at people cooking meats and big thick steaks and
Yeah.
crazy shit. Pulled pork. I like watching all that
Dude,
kind of stuff.
dude.
Yeah, if you look at my algorithm, I mean, it's a bunch of memes, music, comedy, baseball, Norm Macdonald.
Oh, that's on Insta though.
Yeah,
Right? Yeah, same shit.
yeah. SpongeBob,
You know what's been popping
Tom
up?
Segura, Jerry Garcia. I mean, that's
You know what's been popping up on mine? Theo Vaughn. He's been
cat
popping up.
eating a cat.
Okay. Theo Vaughn's been popping up on my shit every time
Me
I
too.
go. But I haven't watched his shit. So but I feel like they're force feeding me. Listen, I like his
Maybe.
mullet, but again, I don't watch his shit.
No.
He's just constantly fucking.
Hey.
Now, granted, I watch a lot of his friends and shit.
You may also enjoy.
I kind of
It's
don't.
the algorithm.
I
Okay.
I kinda
Well, then
don't.
you need to be active on that because you can kind of control it at the same time. If you dislike something, or if you block something, or if you report something, you're also not. It's going to basically create a fork in the road to your algorithm that's going to filter these things away from you.
That's too much.
But
work.
you know what? Different platforms have different algorithms, even to the point of Google, for instance, like how you brought that up. The Google search results, it has its own algorithm.
Right.
YouTube's got an algorithm.
Facebook.
Meta, yeah. Facebook and Instagram are one. It's the Meta algorithm. And that used to get me in trouble back in the day, and I'm glad they tweaked it because Facebook, if you like, let's say you and I are friends on Facebook, and you like a post about a car, really nice car. Because we're friends, as I'm scrolling through my news feed, that picture's going to pop up. And I'm going to be like, I don't follow this page, but it'll say, Will and however many others like this. So you can see where this is going.
I just saw something
in
funny.
the dating world. Anything that I liked or they liked, it would pop up across our feeds, because it says that you're in a relationship. Like, we give it all that information, you know what I'm saying? So then the arguments would start to go back and forth between us. It would start with her, like, where did this come from? Who's that? Blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, okay, well, then let's look at yours. Doom, 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 doom. And now we're at each other's throats, and no one's really done anything except click like.
What if Google did something like that, like with okay, for instance, like we're friends, right? And
Right.
like let's just say like Google like paired us or whatever.
I would be
And
getting some really wild porn search
That's
results,
what. That's
I'm
where I was going. Like
Pornhub algorithm,
or just like whatever. Just like here's what your friend's watching, and then you might be like, dude, what in the fuck is this guy watching?
Well,
Like,
you know what? Maybe they should do that so that there's no reason to have your last words, to have anyone's last words be delete my browsing history. Because it's all out there. We all know everybody's thing now.
I don't know. It's just like whatever.
Hey.
That's weird. Yeah, I never. Like I said, I wonder if I wonder if MySpace had an algorithm like that. Maybe not.
I would think so.
I don't know.
I would think so. But who knows? Like I said, it feels like in the last 3, maybe 4 years, this word has just basically become part of the everyday vernacular. Where the YouTube algorithm or this algorithm or the.
I think it's just those.
It used to be like a thing with
entrepreneurs.
math, and then even in simpler terms, like a procedure, basically following a certain list step by step, like a recipe. On Google, it gave me that, like a very simple algorithm that we use every day would be like a recipe for a dish. And
You should ask Chat GPT what the fuck the YouTube algorithm is and like
Maybe.
how to beat it. Have you ever asked that?
No.
You didn't. Just saying.
Okay, I could do that.
Just saying.
I might be able to do that.
Hey, listen. You know what? If everyone else is using Chat GPT, why don't you? I'm just saying.
But also the different platforms, their algorithms are also designed in their opinions what's appropriate and what's not. Because some posts get taken down. Community guidelines.
COVID.
That was a big one. I remember saying that when we played Infected on back in Cold War, Call of Duty Cold War, and posted it to Facebook, I got a little disclaimer underneath my post. Just because it was called Infected, like it had nothing to do with that at all. And so I'm like, okay, that's interesting.
Well, we
like,
got flagged for a couple videos. Like
TikTok likes to flag fucking everything. There's one now. This is probably the 5th time it's been flagged for hate speech.
Oh, for us?
Yes.
Oh, shit.
And it's
This
finally,
is news to me.
It's finally been taken. I held it until the show. It's finally been taken down. And it was one of our shorts, which is also still up on YouTube and still up on Instagram and Facebook. But it was during the Andrew Tate episode.
Oh,
and
shit.
I was,
What did I say?
No, all you said was, like, part of it's a shtick, was your point.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, how do you not go around getting punched in the face? And it had there was no hate speech in it. I don't know if maybe it's because it's hashtag Tate speech was under it, because we were
probably.
trying to link into the algorithm.
Probably.
And it thought it was hate speech. I don't really know. Or if there's just, pissed off Gen Zers that are looking through it and I don't like it automatically because it's about Andrew Tate.
Dude, they should have threw me in jail with my Madonna
Right,
rant.
you'd already be done. But you were saying
With a Grammy
what
rap.
everyone else was thinking. That's the honest truth behind it.
Called that early.
Yeah. So now that's been. I can't appeal this anymore because I've appealed it 3 or 4 times and it's been restored 3 or 4 times. Now it's done. That one video is gone now, only from TikTok.
Well, come over to YouTube. You're all right.
And
man.
I do follow a page called The Dark Side of Nature, which is a really interesting animal page. It's a lot of animals eating other animals in the wild.
Okay.
A lot of raw footage and things like that. And this one, if you're a dog lover, it'd be hard to watch. I had to click OK to view it. And it was these dogs that were basically trying to get out of what looked like a shitty retention pond, but they were going up the slanted concrete side, and their paws were slipping. Well, there was a big-ass alligator in the water, and it gets one of the dogs. You see it, okay? And there's all these kids screaming because it's their dogs, and it's awful. And that video's on TikTok, but no, ours gets flagged for hate speech because of their stupid. I don't know, man.
Well, remember with Twitter, they banned Donald Trump, but fucking ISIS still had a Twitter page.
Right. And actually, Elon Musk sat down with somebody that was making a claim that since he took over, that it had more hate speech on Twitter than ever before. And Elon Musk, sitting across from him, asked him to give him one example, and the guy couldn't.
Exactly.
To the point where Elon just said, "Okay, so you lied." And the guy's like, "Oh, no. He goes, I just asked you to give me an example."
All right.
You can't give me an example. Pull out your phone. It's in your pocket right now. Give me an example. What is hate speech to you? Can you define that? Like, it's just a finger point, but then there's no basis for the claim after it.
It's not even that.
And now that's factored into an algorithm. It kind of makes it difficult to be content creators sometimes because you got to tiptoe around the bullshit, which is why I wanted to rewatch things just to make sure. But
fuck it.
Right, I agree with you now.
You know why?
Fuck
This
the
is
algorithm.
let it eat, bro.
Right, I agree.
We don't give a fuck around here.
I was holding it back, man.
But here's what it really is. It's not so much hate speech. It's just people are jealous and they want to cancel other people. And nowadays it's so easy to cancel.
It's true.
It really is. But that's what it boils down to. Like, listen, I don't like CNN, but guess what? I don't watch it. But they have every right. If you fucking love their content, have at it, buddy. Put on fucking 10 Mask and just fucking watch CNN all night. That is your choice.
Right.
That is your right to do. That's, you know.
You can sit with your 10 guns and hold your crucifix while you watch Tucker Carlson.
Right.
That's totally fine.
And that's cool. But
the other people don't have to do that.
because
you don't have to do the other.
But you don't agree with them all. I gotta
shut it down.
Right. And that's the problem. We're all fucked up and trying to cancel people and so much hate and all this. I'm just like, fuck, dude. If you don't like it, just turn the channel or don't watch or whatever the fuck, man. Like, honestly.
It's true.
Like, unless if they're really... Now, again, if it's a person's opinion, that's one thing. But if they're claiming that it's facts and they're just way out left field, then yeah, maybe they should, you should report them or something like that for being misleading. Unless if it's their opinion.
But both sides do it, so...
I'm not saying no. I'm not saying
no. I
saying
get it
in general.
but if that's the case, I mean, if we all report it, then there won't be any news. You know what I'm saying? Because they all lie to some degree.
Oh yeah. Well, it's all biased.
Yeah, it's all biased,
It's all
or things are
biased.
added in, or things are left out. The only news that seems factual to me is sports. What's the score? What was the final score? There's no debating that. There's no opinion about who won and who lost.
No,
well,
there
sometimes
still is. There still is.
Right.
The refs,
Doesn't
whatever.
matter. Doesn't matter who that, because no one's ever come back and been like, oh, well, we found this out, so we're going to give it to the other people. I don't think that's ever happened.
Maybe in college.
Okay.
Maybe.
Okay.
Fact check me on that. But I don't.
But if you do, then you're going to get a bunch of college sports shit in your algorithm, so get ready for that. So if you don't want to be flooded.
I think so. It's just, man, listen, it's just...
You know what? I'm just gonna start looking at big titties on Instagram and just have that flood my algorithm. Let's see how long it takes.
It helps. I mean, it
It
helps.
helps.
It helps. It makes you just appreciate life a little bit more. But
Mm.
I mean, listen, it's just like I said. There's good and bad. I mean, like I said, there's a lot of interesting people that I found just from the algorithms, and I look. I love YouTube Shorts. I get in those fucking wormholes.
Yeah.
All but again,
Sometimes that's fun. I've done that on
But-
TikTok. I watch scare prank videos and things
but
like that, and I get more and more and more.
you know what else was another bad thing about those algorithms? It can
Sucks
keep
you
you.
in.
Well, not just that, but it can keep you blind from another viewpoint or side. So, for instance, like if you're a pure,
It's catering to
if you're
what you
a
like.
pure Republican, right, and you're just MAGA, whatever the fuck, that's
Right.
all you're gonna watch, and because you're so in deep into that, you may not see another side
Right.
or be
You're just gonna be
exposed
like-
to another side,
you're just gonna be
whether
like,
you
"Oh."
agree with it or not. But the
There's
point.
Tucker's point of view. There's Gutfeld's point of view. I agree with that too. Oh, look, Matt Walsh. Here's Ben Shapiro. Here's Jordan Peterson.
Yeah.
The usual suspects, and that's fine because that's your point of view, and you enjoy watching that kind
Sometimes
of
I
stuff.
want to
That's a good
hear.
point.
Sometimes I want to hear Whoopi Goldberg's point of view because
Right.
I mean, listen, when she is on The View, I mean, nothing but facts comes out of that lady's mouth. So yeah, sometimes I'd like to see her viewpoint. I mean, especially when it comes to Second Amendment issues. I mean, she's just on fucking point. Why? What's the problem? Why?
Nothing,
I'm just saying. But yeah, I mean, like I said, there's good and bad, but it's tough. But again, it's always changing. So it's not like if there was a set of rules or directions on how to beat the algorithm, then dude, we'd all be fucking swimming in money. We'd
Yeah.
all have Ferraris in our driveways, but we don't.
Or they would just raise the limits. Like it's not 1,000 subscribers to start working with YouTube. It's 100,000 because everybody's got all this shit going on. You know what I mean?
Well,
Like they would just raise the.
I think I heard recently that how you get a plaque for 100K subs. They're thinking about moving that bar to a higher
See?
thing because there's a
It's
lot
gonna
more
the
people.
scale's gonna keep getting adjusted,
Yeah, it's
and the algorithm's gonna be forever. It's like the Matrix.
but
It's like Great Value Matrix. You know what I mean? Like,
it's kind of but
Mom, can we have the Matrix? We have the Matrix at home, and it's the algorithm.
listen, here's why.
Trying to cater to the artificial mind
But this is why
instead of them.
doing content create. It's not just making videos or I mean some of it's like an ego thing and all this, but
Sure.
really what it is like the past maybe 5, 6, 7 years around there. People really just hate working for companies. They hate their jobs. They hate the corporate life. They hate, retail, whatever the fuck business that they're in. And they really just want to have their own business, quote unquote, brand. Be their own boss, make their own schedule, dictate and all this. Because, a lot of channels they survive off their viewers, their donations and stuff. Yeah, they get a kickback from, YouTube or whatever the fuck that they're on. But,
Right. The
but
majority of that
again,
money. Yeah.
Right, but and that's the the awe of it. Like that's why so you always see people trying to start it and venture off into that because I mean, people just don't want to fucking go to work and have to answer. It's to 7 different bosses, like Office Space, like so that's why like a lot of people do. And again, the variety. I mean, you could do whatever. Whether it's something small or something big. That's really what it is.
And if you are small and you are starting out, I mean, I would just say don't get too frustrated with the algorithm. Okay? Because first of all, it's listening. Secondly,
It's happened.
if you do that,
it
you're gonna
even happened to us.
Right,
I mean,
it's gonna put you in a little bit of a funk, but we've stayed pretty consistent. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
that's a key as well.
But
to
you gotta
the
have
growth.
you gotta have a positive mindset. You gotta have fun, And if you're not doing solo, just make sure you surround yourself with a group of people that, have either the same goals, the same mindset, whatever the fuck, and just fucking have fun with it, man. Just do whatever
And if
the
you
fuck.
get lucky, the algorithm picks you up. You go viral, and there you go.
Never know. But again, it's the equivalent of winning the fucking lottery.
Yeah.
It's really what it is now. Because it's so easily accessible. But, yay the algorithm. Woohoo.
Yeah, you gotta be plugged into the algorithm.
God, I can't wait what the future looks like.
The algorithm has you.
Can't wait. It has us.
It's coming.
By the balls.
By the balls.
By the balls.
As long as it cups them.
All out, baby.
Damn it. It's gonna
Balls on the fucking table, buddy. Sweaty balls on the table.